Welcome back, you guys. Finally, we're here. We're here. This is season 2, episode 1 of the PHOTOBOOTH 101 University podcast. And you guys know everyone here. We got Hans, we got Tyler. Fellas, please let's just talk about what's new with the business. Where are we at? It's freaking December. What you guys been up to?
Um, Same old. Nobody's gonna be surprised, but the pickups are like my hottest rental now. If nobody's done it, you should start doing it because most likely you don't, nobody's gonna be able to beat your price if you have that. And
Mhm.
that's not new, but those rentals for me are on fire now.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm more of the drop off guy. I did three pickups in the summer, and that was pretty much it. I kind of just stopped pushing it. I don't think it's more because I can't do it. I just stopped kind of pushing it a little bit. But the drop off, Drew, kudos to you, man. That's all I do now. I do stay near the area because some of my events be an hour away, like I told you off camera the other day. But I'll come back, maybe grab some followers, check up. Usually that's my chance to go grab something to eat in there because like the venue's, oh yeah, go grab something to eat. Then I'll leave, go to the mall like 10 minutes up the road, chill out, then come back at the end of the event, pick everything up, and that's it. Just
Damn, love that. Yeah,
yeah.
you know what's funny? My aunt, she works for Parks and Rec of like Los Angeles. She's like I don't know what her title is, but like she's like operating one of the parks. And we had a photo booth she rented for her park. She used it twice. Then someone else from the park rented it, so she dropped it off to them. And then the booth was dropped over to another person that's renting it. And it's going to be rented out one more time before it gets back to us. Bro.
Wait,
It,
so you're still getting paid, but they're doing the work for you? So I'm assuming you just go online and change the template and set up the event for them.
exactly. And then
Nice.
it just loads up. It's crazy, man. I'm thinking this year, you guys, I'm gonna look into maybe starting a photo booth rental company where we ship out the photo booth, but a very basic photo booth, like a tripod, ring light sort of deal, where it's just like a digital thing. Because I mean, that seems like the only other thing that I think that would undercut the 199, maybe a 150 all day rental where we ship it out, you know? Shipping is
What
not
about what about deluxe? You wouldn't ship the deluxe?
it's too expensive for shipping where it wouldn't be worth it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking like very basic fucking 10.2 ninth generation iPad. That iPad's like $189 right now, and
Hmm.
a simple ring light stand.
Hmm.
And
And how would you think you would be able to get it back? Like, what if someone's like, oh yeah, I'm not mailing this back to you? Like,
yeah, for sure, credit card on file. I think we'd like how Hans operates his pickups. Definitely that agreement drawn out. But again, I mean, if the iPad's 190 and that ring light stand is probably going to be no more than like $130, all in, it's not that much money. It's very low risk. I mean, if I rent that thing out twice, it's paid for itself and I have some money in my pocket. Maybe, roughly. Maybe it's paid off in two. So yeah, with that, I would definitely go very affordable. I'm not gonna, no one's gonna rent a photo booth for $150 and expect like top tier quality. I think they kind of know what they're getting themselves into.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's something you could offer like it just in the West Coast for now, and then if if it gets any bigger, then
Shit. I mean, hey, if you guys want to join, maybe we start this together if you're down.
that sounds like a cool
I
idea.
feel like if we all
I could probably kill that in the tri-state. That'd be pretty cool in the tri-state area.
it's probably gonna be cheaper to ship out from your side if it's
Oh
a
yeah, oh
East
yeah,
Coast thing. So, I
yeah.
mean, I think we could do it. I think if we put our heads together, like how sick would that be?
That'd be pretty cool.
I'm seeing more and more of these photo booth rental companies that are like, "Hey, we'll ship you a photo booth to rent," and I've been seeing a lot of them, and their price point is crazy. It's 199. That's like the pickup price.
And you just give them like the whole instructions, like a video on how to turn the iPad on, plug in the software,
Mhm.
everything, start to beginning.
And I was even thinking too, like there's a way to, and I realized this not too long ago. You can have the iPad with the software on, with guided access on, but the iPad sleeping, to where all they have to do is press the button so it's not sleeping, take it out of sleep mode, and then it's already loaded.
Hmm.
Yeah. But the main problem though, I think with this option is obviously digital only, is there's a lot of people in the country that are in areas where like internet is just trash.
Oh yeah.
So
especially
I
in the
think,
middle.
yeah, I think the hardest part will be just communicating that, like, hey, we need a solid internet connection. The iPad can and should come with cellular, but like some people don't read the contracts, and in the contracts it states, LTE service may be out, but that's the hardest part. I'm thinking a workaround is like, hey, like, once they book, we send just a message just saying, hey, like, just making sure you understand these terms. I don't know. But yeah, man, that's on the schedule. That's what's new. Um, I get a lot of people, you guys, asking, what happened to the podcast? People are like, where's Hans? What's Tyler up to? And it's just like, just soon, guys. We did like what? I think I looked well over 20 episodes in the first year of the podcast. So it's
Yeah,
a lot
man.
of episodes.
Sometimes you guys gotta understand we gotta take a break once in a while. The break will happen again eventually. But the podcast is back, for the
Yeah.
time being, maybe 20 more episodes and a break again. It's seasons. You don't get a whole TV show every freaking back to back
Yep. Yep.
TV
Yeah.
Netflix series.
Dude, I'm thinking maybe next week we'll have a guest. You guys down?
Down.
Yeah, I'm thinking we go right out the gate with a big heavy hitter. My friend from 805 Selfie Booth, he's crushing it in Ventura. He does a lot of cool corporate events, 360 iPad booth. I think it'd be cool to have him on.
Down,
Nice.
I'm down. So let me tell you an experience I had the other day. I've been meaning to tell you guys off camera, anyways.
Mm.
Have you guys ever had a situation? And this just happened. I want to say maybe no less than before Thanksgiving. Uh, I had a customer. I did a wedding, and she was an older lady, and she was asking me questions the whole night. Like, I mean, like, oh, how do I text the picture? How do I email the picture? How do I take the picture? And oh, what's a GIF? What's a boomerang? Like every and she was the only one like that was really like coming to the photo booth back to back to back. She'll come with a different person each time. And then like, she was maybe in her 60s, maybe going into her 70s. So I'm there like basically educating her on this thing all night long. And then come the next morning, I want to say it was like 5:30 in the morning my time. I get a phone call, random number, and I'm like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. So I pick up, hello, hello, hang up. And I'm like, okay. The call back again. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go and I answer, hello. Oh, hi. Is this the photo booth company? And I'm like, yo, no way. It's the same lady. I swear. I was like, yo, you gotta be kidding. And she's like, oh, I just want to know because she got, I'm actually using LumaBooth now for, yes, because I got my other photo booth right here, actually, as we speak,
Mhm.
my second photo booth over here. So I use Salsa for my first one, and then I use LumaBooth for this one. I'm getting rid of Salsa soon. Actually, I'm going to go full time LumaBooth. So that's big announcement for you guys. So I'm still kind of learning as I go too. But it's just as far as the texting the picture to the phone, it's the same thing as Salsa. So I already have the education on that. So then she goes, oh, I click the live like the link. I see the picture, but the picture's small. She's like, how do I like get the picture? I'm like, you download it, you hit the download button. Like, I said, I showed you yesterday, you hit the download button, or you could screenshot it and crop it out, however you want to do it. But the point is, why are you calling me at 5:30 in the morning? Like, we both live in New Jersey. It's not like she lived like where you guys live, and maybe the time's different or something like that. She's calling me at 5:30. Why are you so worried about a photo booth picture at 5:30 in the morning? The next day, the wedding ended at midnight. So that means you're still worried about it 5 hours later?
I
I
bet you
was
she
so,
didn't go to sleep.
I was so upset, man. I even texted the client. I'm like, the lady called me at 5:30 in the morning. Like I knew the client for a few months. We had like a pretty good client customer relationship. So like, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like that's my aunt. I'll speak to her, stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, she called me at 5 in the morning to find out how to download her picture. So I said, if you want, send her like the live gallery and she can have all her pictures. Because I already had sent it to the client, but she didn't get, obviously the client didn't get the live gallery. She just got all the links to her pictures. But I think where I messed up is that in the live gallery link, I put, if you want to book us, call or text and I put my phone number. But I didn't put like, if there's any problems with your photo booth picture, please call us. I just put, if you would like to book us, please call or text this number. And I'm like, she really called me at 5:30 in the morning for this picture.
Well, believe it or not, there's a silver lining there. At least the photo was worth bugging you about.
I know it must have been. It had to be a good picture, to be honest,
Yeah,
man.
right?
I was like, I don't know whether to be mad. But even Kristen was like, was that a customer that just called? I'm like, yeah, 5:30 in the morning. They just called me to ask me about the picture. She thought I was kidding. I was like, no, I'm so serious. They called,
Did it
and
wake did it wake you up?
oh yeah, well, yeah, it woke me up. I got home at like 1 o'clock in the morning that night.
Uh
The event
well,
ended at midnight, and it was like an hour drive from my house.
well, also good news, me being a YouTube content creator, I think the title of this video now is Old Lady versus Photo Booth.
I love
Funny,
it.
funny video of a old person next to a photo booth looking confused. But it's funny you mentioned that. This past weekend we had a 2-day activation in San Diego, and I had a lady use the photo booth. Old lady, she had to be at least 75, maybe 80 years old. She's by herself. She did the classic old person thing where they take 3 photos and they don't move.
Oh, the
So,
same. Yep, the same pose where they're just
yep,
like,
yeah, yeah, and like the photos, she was like this. And then I was like, okay, second photo. If I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna give some suggestions. I go, hey, how about hands up? And she goes like this. And then she goes, and then the photo takes the same like this. And then after, right? So there's no prints here. It's just digital sharing. She says, oh, cool. So she goes, well, how do I get the photo? I said, oh, awesome. Here are your options. Text. And she goes, well, I don't have a cell phone. And I'm like, oh, no problem. We have an email. She goes, well, I don't really use emails. I'm retired. I don't have a use for it. I was like, okay. And I was like, oh, well, AirDrop's out the window if you don't have that. And I said, I was like, I don't know how to get this to you.
like,
And I was just baffled. I was just like, oh yeah, there's no digital photo booth for this lady. So I told her, I was like, well, look, if you really want this photo and maybe someone that has an email, or do you have like a son that has a phone? She goes like, oh yeah, 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 send it to my son. And so I put in his number, and she knew it off the top of her head. So she was old school like that. And then
that's crazy.
and then after I sent it and I said, oh, Kurt, perfect. I was like, this, just making sure this is your son's cell phone, right? And she goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then she's like,
Some random person probably just got her picture, and she's like,
dude,
who the hell is this person, yo?
bro, and it's always, do I need to put one? Do I need to put one?
Oh yeah.
The code?
Do I need to put
The
one for
country
the phone
code.
number?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm curious. So Hans, do you ever get old people on the mechanical bull when you're doing the rentals?
Mm-hmm.
Is it always funny? That might be one of my favorite things to ever watch. An old person just get tossed off of a mechanical bull.
We had an injury like a month ago, or no, 2 months ago.
From an
She
old
was,
person?
dude. She looked younger than she was. Um, she was like 54. I thought she was like early 40s, but she popped out her arm. But
Hmm.
yeah, like other than that, it's usually fun.
Dang.
Now, when that happens, Hans, obviously you signed a contract. If you get hurt, you're not
Yeah,
responsible. But
I was there. She signed a waiver. Yeah.
Hmm.
okay, I'm about to say, do they like still try to, even though they sign a waiver, do they still try to come at you like, oh well, now my arm's broken, it's dangling, like
No,
you're gonna be
no,
responsible still?
no. I even say it out loud. There's like I say jokingly, like you're signing your life away. So if you die, you can't go after me, something like that. But I try not to be that dark. But something along the lines to like lighten the mood and not. But
Yeah.
no, they don't go after you. I think that's like our second injury since we've been around.
Hmm.
They're usually like it is a mechanical bull.
Love that. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It's interesting, Tyler, too. I think the last podcast we had, Tyler, Hans and I were like, not like grilling you, but we were like, do more drop offs. And if I remember correctly, you were kind of hesitant. You're just like, oh, I don't know. We're not like, we want to start doing them more. And if I remember correctly, in the beginning of the podcast, you said you guys been doing a lot more of those, right?
Well, you talking to me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Hans. I was like, oh yeah, he's been doing drop off.
Well,
No,
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 my question was like, if that's correct, what again were you being like, what were the points where you were scared, like the topics, and what is the reality been in the outcome of these drop-offs been?
so I don't know more if I was scared or if it's just that I just didn't want to trust people with my equipment, with the props. It was more like, I wanted to kind of be there to make a little more content and, be able to record videos. But then I kind of like, when I went down to California, I kind of listened to what you said and I was like, okay, well, I could stay there the first maybe 20 minutes, record a few people using the booth, leave, stay around the area. You know, that's usually when I go to the mall. There's a lot of malls in New Jersey. So
Mm.
if usually right next to the venue, 10 minutes or 20 minutes down the road, there's some type of mall or store or something that you could go to. There's a bunch of AMC movie theaters over here, so we could catch a movie, a bunch of restaurants to eat. So I'll go usually eat at the restaurant. Then I'll come back and then like, you know, obviously try to get more content in a little bit and then, you know, leave again. And then usually that's it. I'll leave for the rest of the event and then I'll come back and pick up everything, say goodbye to the client, and that's it. But that's why if you see a lot of my videos, I don't really record a lot of people using the photo booth anymore because I just try to catch like at least like 3 people using it. And then I'll just like record the rest of the party a little bit, like people dancing as I'm actually coming in to like pick up the photo booth. You know, people are still dancing until like the last minute. So I'll start recording people dancing on the dance floor. And it makes it seem like I'm still there the whole event. But no, man, the drop off is, I love it. Honestly, like I said, I haven't really pushed the pickup since the summer. I don't know, because maybe it's just cold over here and I don't really feel like meeting up with people and by a CVS or something like that right now because it is cold. It's like freaking 30 degrees over here now.
Yeah.
But like honestly, the drop off, just going there, dropping it off, leaving it alone, you know, come back, get a little bit of content, kind of still like, you know, helps me. So it does. I still have a lot of content. I've been posting every single day. I don't know if you guys seen. I'm just every day I have like 3 or 4 posts, 3 or 4 posts every day. I always have something.
A lot of clips of you guys dancing, and I love that. Like,
Yeah,
guys are like,
yeah.
hey, like when the photo booth company has the vibes, and there's just clips of you doing your thing.
Yeah, just you know, and you know, I get a lot of compliments on that where people are like, oh my god, like I love your Instagram, like you guys have so much energy. Like I just did a DJ event because that's what I've been doing a lot more now. I've been actually like transitioning over to just like DJ photo booth, and that's all my November, like between October to now has been DJ photo booth. So I just did a DJ gig on Saturday for a birthday party for my aunt's friend, and it was like a mix of like you know different you know cultures, nationalities, and stuff like that. And I was just mixing the music. But then as I'm looking in the corner because I was by myself, Kristen wasn't with me that night. You know, obviously I have to stay at the event because I'm DJing. I'm watching the photo booth just do its thing, and I'm like, see, I don't need to be here for the photo booth. Obviously, I was there to DJ, but I wasn't even paying attention to the photo booth the whole night. It was next to me, and I was just watching it. And the only thing that I just still kind of feel uncomfortable with is that people just don't know how to treat your stuff. And I saw it hand on hand because I'm like right here DJing, and then across from me is my photo booth. And then I see people with the props. They're taking the prop, they're just throwing it back on the table. And I'm like, oh my god, these props are expensive. People don't understand. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It is what it is. Like they gotta be replaced. I'm replacing a bunch of my props soon this year. So, you know, but just seeing your stuff just get thrown. Like I've seen people like take a picture and then rush for the next one, throw the prop like it goes onto the floor. And I'm just like, in the beginning, that's what I was like, this is why I don't want to leave the photo booth. It's more for like the props and you know, people slamming their finger on the photo booth, and you're like, you don't want people messing your stuff up. But now it's like it is what it is. It's made to be, you know, worn and used. So
Bro, we don't even bring props to many events anymore, really, because we charge a la carte. Bro, most people won't believe this, but like you can really figure out what people value in the photo booth rental by doing a la carte. And I'm always keeping track. Believe it or not, man, the props are the least requested thing. People would rather have our backdrop or they'd rather have the boomerang GIF and video experience. Shit, the Jackery gets rented more than the props.
wow. Yeah, no, everyone loves the prop. Everyone asks me, "Oh, are you gonna bring the table with the props?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bring the table." And obviously, I charge my prices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, no, people love the prop. Honestly, the backdrops we rent them here and there. But people love that inflatable, man. They love that freaking LED inflatable. That's all I use pretty much since October is the inflatable booth. But you know, it's wedding season, so people have that feel for it. But I've done a few backdrops, you know, this year. You know, people have
And
chosen backdrops.
I wonder if it's a location thing because I don't know about you, Hans. I barely get asked for that inflatable.
Inflatable is not a hot item for me.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Maybe it's just a like you said a location thing. People love it. I don't. They see it. Oh my god, I want the inflatable. You know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe this year I've had maybe 5 people ask for it. And then of course I tell them, I was like, yeah, we could do it. It's a couple $100 to add it on. And they're
Yeah.
like, no, we're fine. We'll do one of these.
Every time I do get asked for it, it's usually like a younger crowd too. It's
Yep.
not like a wedding. Like I'm scared that if I offer it to like a wedding, they're gonna be like, oh, like I guess it's a West Coast thing where it's like, oh, that's kind of tacky, you know? Whereas
Uh,
in the East Coast, it seems like it's more elegant and more premium. On
Yeah,
the
because
West Coast, we
if you see Nadia's using it like crazy now too, I recommended her to get one a few months back because I had an event that I wanted to get white labeled, and obviously she's my go-to person when I need a white label person to help me out that day if I'm like triple booked or double booked or whatever. And I told her, I said, get the inflatable because a lot of people ask me for that. She got one. She says now that's all she gets out. And I don't know. Like I said, it might just be a tri-state thing. I don't know, but
do
she
you
said
push it? Do you ask them like, do you want it? Do you push it, or what do you do?
I showed them all my backdrops. I said I actually just bought like 10 of them from Drew for that reason. Like what? When I came back from after I came back from California, I bought like 10 backdrops thinking, okay, I'm gonna rent the shit out of these. And I did in the summer, don't get me wrong. I think maybe just as the winter comes on, people like that winter wonderland and they see the inflatable and I guess it just fits their theme. But more from like October to like maybe March, it's just the inflatable. But then in the summer, I see I'm renting out more of the backdrops. Like in the summer, like a lot of the parties are like the wood with the light backdrop because I don't know, maybe it's just like summer season, so people think, oh, that'll fit like my cabin themed wedding or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
All
well,
right.
one little pro tip, anyone that has our backdrops, I'm telling you, start posting on Facebook Marketplace and offer up the backdrop rentals. We get them all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
People are seriously nowadays I mean, look, Hans, didn't you have Tyler set up a backdrop for your baby shower?
The you mean the balloon garden?
The balloon garland.
Yes.
Yeah, so people want backdrops, and whether they're balloon garlands or these, like we low key have a backdrop rental business.
Yeah, but I saw that you had your backdrop and someone did balloons in front of it recently, right? I you made a video where you did. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know if I think it was your silver backdrop that you have right there. It was one of your backdrops, and someone did balloons in front of it, and you guys were there. You were talking. You guys had the deluxe booth in front of it. That
Mhm.
was cool. I was like, yo, that's nice. See, that's cool that you can work with like a balloon artist and trust them to touch your backdrop and decorate it, and it even makes your stuff look nicer because you're like, oh look, not only do we rent backdrops, but you could decorate in front of it if you want to.
Exactly. And bro, yes, this is why I tell everyone like my mind is wired to seize every little opportunity and ounce of potential money making that I can. That's just the way my mind is. So whenever I do an event and there's a balloon artist, I'm always in it. Like this happens so many times where they want our backdrop, but balloons on it. I'm talking to the balloon artist. I'm like, hey, if you ever want to rent our backdrops, like normally for our customers, it's 100, but I'll give it to you for X amount of money at a good or better price.
Yeah.
So like we are renting, I've been making so much money renting out equipment to other people in the industry, photo booth owners, the balloon artists. Um, it's crazy, man. Someone had a joke in the group chat. They're like, "Hey, Drew, what won't you rent out?" And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I've rented out, I think this past month, photo booth equipment. I've probably made roughly 3,200 dollars from just renting out to other photo booth owners, people that are double booked, that don't want to white label an event. They'd rather pay me 100, charge their customer 500, pay me 100, them keep 400 versus the other way around where they pay someone 400 and they keep 100. So like, I mean, if you guys have like a network of people, it doesn't hurt to just throw that price out. And Tyler, even for you, bro, now that you have a second photo booth, like, I'm telling you, dude, the drop off and the pickup is going to be your fastest way to grow your business to get more equipment. And then once you have extra equipment, like I wouldn't even hesitate to start, you know, yeah, start renting it out to other people, man.
3 photo booths.
You have three?
So I have the one from you.
Mm-hmm.
I have this one that I just showed you guys, and then I have a tripod one that I use like it's like one of those tripod that you put the skirt over.
Mm-hmm.
I had watched your video a few months ago in the summer before I actually bought this one. Because I needed it like last minute. I did, Nadia wasn't around. Nobody was around the white label for me. So I was like, you know what? I'll just make one myself. So I got the little tripod thing. I used my DJ skirt for my DJ covers, for the speakers,
Love
and
it.
built the little head thing that you had with the wood piece. I went to Home Depot, and
Dude,
it's in my mother-in-law's house. It's like my last resort type of thing. It was just something I did. Just actually, I did it more for fun because I was like, I'd like to make one of these to actually see how it felt. I just did it more for my own like my own hobby, own entertainment. So let me make one, see what it looks like. So, but I rarely use it. But yeah, 3. If I
yeah,
have 3 iPads now too. I just bought my third iPad for that one actually.
Yeah, bro. Oh, during Black Friday, that 10.2-inch 9th gen iPad was like it was like $180, or like I think a lot less.
It was a lot. I think T-Mobile over here for Black Friday by my house was selling them literally for like $140.
Bro, I heard the T-Mobile down by my house was doing rock, paper, scissors for it. It's cheap, man. They're so cheap. But that setup that you're talking about, that setup, I think we had our Prius at the time. We were able to fit 11 of them in our Tesla and still have room for a little bit of like space. It's the most
Like you're talking about the tripod one.
Yeah, I'm thinking if we do start, and I'm 100% serious, if we start a ship out company together, which I think we could do easily, right? We can have it like evenly split up the work and do it if you guys want to. But like I think that might be a decent setup to start with.
Yeah, it's something more like a last resort. Like, hey, like I
Yeah.
want this event. It's an easy $300 event. You go to the store, you make what I think it costed me like, because I already had the tripod from my DJ speakers. Because I have 3 tripods, so I always have an extra tripod for my speakers just in case one breaks. So I was like, you know what? I already have the tripod. I said, all I gotta do is go get the pieces to connect and then make the head. I was like, with the ring light. So I went to the store, bought a ring light. They have them over here. I bought the ring light. I just got the wood, went to Home Depot, put like a small piece of plywood in the back, had them cut it out, and pretty good. It did the job.
Okay, Hans, would you become a DJ? Because hearing Tyler talk about this DJ stuff makes me think like,
No.
yeah.
It's a lot of listen. It's a lot of
see,
work.
bro, I see you do it, and bro, you make it look fun. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, maybe I should give this a try. But then I remember, I'm like, oh wait, Tyler's got to be here. Like, there's no drop off with the DJ. You got to spend the time to be there. No.
Yeah, no, yeah, you got to, the money's, I can't lie. Over here, Jersey, again, I don't know the prices what DJs can make in California, but over here, Jersey, you could, I just did a wedding in October. I made $2,500, and that was just DJ. That wasn't photo booth. She booked our photo booth too. So the whole event, we made like $3,200. So I made $2,500 to DJ, and then what? The remaining 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. The other $700 was for photo booth. Oh, and I gave an audio guest book, but that was like an upgrade I gave her because I was like, you know what, like you already booked a lot from us, so I just gave her the audio guest book. But I make good money with the DJ now. You know what I mean? So the photo booth, obviously,
2,500 is not bad. That's not bad.
But there's a lot of setup, huh?
It is. Yeah, no, there is work to it, and it's hours of stuff beforehand. You got to get the playlist. You got to make, and again, you're relying all on technology. So if your computer crashes, you're screwed. Actually, let me tell you a story. So in November, the beginning of November, I had a cheer banquet. I did an event for a cheer. So we did photo booth and DJ. Bro, it was an hour and a half away from my house. I left my charger, right? So the charger to my thing. So I had this part to my charger for the MacBook, right? Obviously, this is the one for my iPhone, but the MacBook has like a big adapter thing, and then it has the typical, USB-C plug or whatever. But because I left the big piece, right, the big adapter, I ended up using like a USB-C, like a regular iPhone. This one's an older one. So I put it on and I was charging the computer, thinking everything was charging. Luckily, they were going through like their speeches and the awards like the first 2 hours. Bro, I was noticing because I did like a warm up. Bro, the fucking the MacBook was dying, and I'm like, oh my god, it was like on 4%. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I was like, holy shit. Hold on, I think I just blacked out. All right, I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I'm going crazy. Like this thing's gonna die on me. So I'm like, I have no choice. So I looked up. It was like around 7:30. There was like a mall like 25 minutes away from me. And I was like, bro, I gotta tell. Like they were still doing like the awards and the announcements and stuff. So like I didn't have. They were doing like a projector where they were like showing like presentation and stuff like that. So I'm like, yo, I have time to run to the Apple store and buy a freaking adapter because if not, I was gonna be screwed. The rest of the party would have been ruined. So I went to the client. I'm like, listen, so I just kind of BS'd her. I'm like, like, hey, our adapter's not working. We're having some problems. My MacBook's about to die. I have to run to the Apple store. And she's like, okay. Like, I'm like, listen, I'll be back in like an hour. So, they have their speeches. She's like, okay, well, you got to, hurry up. And I'm like, oh my God, bro, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose all this money from this event. She's going to ask for a refund. I was thinking the worst. So I sat there and I flew and I was swerving around cars just to get to the Apple store. Got to the Apple store. I called in like as I'm driving, like, I need to order this piece now. I finally got to Apple store. I freaking ran across the whole mall. got to the Apple store and I told them, I'm like, I ordered this piece. But it's not ready. I'm like, what do you mean it's not ready? I said, I told you guys I needed it now. Like, I'm like, but the order's processing. And I'm like, yo, she's like, the lady's like, the only way is if we could reimburse you for this one. You call Apple, like the help department, like the IT, get your refund, and then you just pay for one now. And I'm like, fuck it. So I ended up spending $100 for the one I ordered on the phone, and then I had to spend $100 again for the other piece because I got this part, like the big box part, and just in case I got another wire. So I spent like $93 the first time I had called in, and then the second time I went and I had to buy everything from there, so I had to wait like 5 days just to get a refund for the second one. But I had got back to the event just on time. They were finishing up their like presentation thing. I plugged in the MacBook, let it charge for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, bro, that's the stressful thing about the DJ thing. I'm like, bro, if you miss one little piece, you're screwed.
I always say this. The photo booth is the least important thing at a party. Like, and I don't say that to like devalue what we do, but like if you're the DJ and you F up, party's it's gonna be impacted, right? Especially if it's like a wedding where there's announcements and all that.
Yeah.
So like that's crazy. Wait, why not just like why didn't you just try to get a battery pack like at a Walmart or something and just use that?
No, I needed the adapter, like the big piece. I don't think they had that at a Walmart then.
They do though, bro. It's a common thing.
Then I'm gonna be pissed because I ran all the way to the mall for that, bro. You don't understand. That was the most stressful day of my life DJing.
Damn.
And I'm like, never again will I forget. I have like a checklist now. I double check before I put anything in my car. And still, and I like what Hans said to me the other day off the phone. He's like, I have a backup for a backup. And I have to start getting better with that stuff, is having backups for my photo booth. For the photo booth, I have backups for pretty much everything. I have backup. I always bring like backup props. I always bring like one backdrop just in case the inflatable decides to explode one day or the fan dies. I always bring like an extra backdrop. I do bring the bag with the stuff, like with one, like usually like the wood with the lights. And just in case something happens, I'll let them know, hey, the inflatable's not working, but I have this backdrop. I always have backups for that. But like even Hans was like, I have a backup ring light. And I'm like, I never thought of that. Like that's
I was about to say that backup ring light, dude. And that's like the first thing that's probably gonna, like, if you're gonna have any trouble with your photo booth, like hardware wise, it's gonna be the ring light, man.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people too using the USB, or like if they have a photo booth that has like a USB on the ring light, they use it. And it's like your issue, like you had, Tyler, the slow charge, right? And I get this question all the time, is like, how do I power the iPad? And it's the best way to do it is through an original OEM charger. But guys, I wanted to shift. I know we're running a little low on time. Let's just talk about it. Running sales for your photo booth business, like Black Friday. I know, Tyler, you did one, and I want to ask you that, but like Hans, do you ever consider running like holiday sales or for your rental business?
I could tell you didn't look at my IG during Black Friday.
I did. That's why I'm asking you guys.
I did. I
Yeah.
did one. I only had 2 people bite. I feel it's like maybe and I put ads too. And I only had 2 people buy it, which is fine because it was a pretty good discount, but I feel like people are really busy during the holidays that, you're with your family. The last thing you want to do is be on your phone.
Yeah.
Because I dropped was it like $35 a day for 3 days to do it? So that was like, I only had 2 people buy it. So I was like, I still made my money back. But
when did you post your Black Friday sale? Did you post it the week of Black Friday, or did
on
you
Black Friday? So it was only Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's a great way to do it.
See what I did when I did my Black Friday sales. I posted my Black Friday sale in the beginning of November. I told people that it wasn't active, that they can't use it until the 25th, but I was already posting, hey, Black Friday's coming up. Here's what I'm going to offer and stuff like that. Yeah. I was posting it daily, like, hey, here's my Black Friday sale for my DJ phone, and I made almost like a video where it showed like my different prices in one thing. Like here's my DJ with the photo booth. If you just want the photo booth, it's this price. If you want, like, I added in the audio guest book, stuff like that. But I was posting it in the beginning of November. Hold on, someone's trying to call me. Hold on, let me decline them real quick.
So yeah, that's why I asked Tyler, because did you guys have an issue because you guys were promoting the Black Friday sale in advance, where so people are like waiting to book, or if they booked you before, they're like, hey, can I get a refund then rebook?
Yeah, no. So I had one lady that we had for the week before Black Friday, And again, I was posting it in the beginning of November, and I charged her my price. I think my normal price. I hear because I still do like the a la carte thing where people can make their own package. I send people my website first and say, hey, here's what you could do. You could make your own package, and basically like if what do you want? You want the photo booth just by itself? Do you want the add-on for the prop table, for the whatever, for the what's that thing called? The VIP ropes, all that stuff. I have all that stuff that they could make their own package, but I still like to give them like an option where, hey, like you could build your own stuff, or I can make the package for you. Either way, I'm not messing people over. The price is still the same. I'm just putting everything together, my prices, and putting it into a package like $450 for this. And usually I'm adding a discount because if you add all my stuff together, it's usually like $525. So like when I did that Black Friday sale, I did it for $450. So the lady had reached out to me. I charged her, I think like because it wasn't Black Friday that week that I was renting it out for the Black Friday deal. I told her, hey, my price is gonna be I think it was like $525, which is the normal thing. She wanted like all this stuff, and then she's okay, no problem, whatever. And then she reached out to me a couple days later, sent the deposit yet, and she's like, oh, I see you got this Black Friday sale. Like, can you like honor it since you're like posting it? So I'm like, well, technically, and I did post on there that it starts on November 25th, and then I pushed it all the way to Cyber Monday. So I'm giving people a whole entire week basically. So it's not really even Black Friday; it's Black Friday week. I'm giving them that option to choose, and I tell people you don't have to book us that week. It doesn't need to be that week. If you book us between the 25th and the 2nd, the event could be June of next year. You're gonna get that price. I'm gonna honor that price. And I made sure I made that clear in my post that even if you book us that week, the event could be 2 years from now. I'll honor the price if you book us and you put a deposit and you set everything up, sign the contract and everything. And then the lady reached out and she was like, oh, like I really want that price, like it's a budget, like I'm budgeting on this event. I'm like, you know what, fine. I could have been an ass and be like, no, I'm sorry. I did tell her like technically that's for the 25th to the 2nd, but I'm like, you know what, like if you send the deposit, because she had not sent the deposit, I'm like, if you send the deposit right now, I'll honor the price. But if you don't send it like now, the price is back to where it was.
Yeah.
So she did. She read it. Okay, no problem. Sent the deposit, signed the contract. Boom, done. Because I was like, I feel bad to tell her no, just to lose. Maybe I think I lost like $75. I'm like, you know what? $75 is not going to make or break me. Rather than build a client and maybe potentially get more events off of that event. And actually, if I had a few people reach out from that event for future events in the summer, for next year, stuff like that. So it's a win-win for me, I guess. But
yeah.
There's pros and cons to posting stuff like that early. I'm still going to do it next year, when Black Friday comes again, because I'm giving people more time. Like Khan said, a lot of people during that week on Black Friday aren't going to be on their phones. But that's why I noticed a lot of businesses and a lot of companies are posting their Black Friday sales. Like, hey, the Black Friday's coming up. Here's what we're going to start offering in October. People are talking about their Black Friday sale. So why not? You know what I mean? Why not start talking about it at least in the end of October?
Yeah, I want to say something. I'm going to say this, and I never say anything to brag. You guys know me. When have I ever been like, I made this much money or we're this successful? I never do that. I don't run Black Friday sales because I don't have to. Apple, you don't really get discounts on Apple, right? There's certain products where it's just like, this is the price.
Hey, they had Black Friday.
From Apple?
Yeah.
Bugatti.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
All right. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is like, everything I'm like, honestly, yes, running sales, whether it's Black Friday or New Year's sales or whatever sales, it helps. But like, sometimes I feel like it's more of a fucking pain in the ass than it is actually worth it. And I tell everyone, like, if you want to run sales, go for it. Or a better mentality is to get booked ahead of time to where you don't even have to run a sale. And like, I'm telling you, Hans, man, you keep promoting your pickup, you're not even going to have a booth available, man, to even do a Black Friday sale next year. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
So like, that's my saying. Like Black Friday sales are definitely, or not, let's just talk about sales in general. They're good to do, but like also too, like I am the type of shopper, and I try to apply this to my own business. And I know it's not always good to run your business as if you were a shopper, but I know there's a lot of people that can agree with me. I kind of low key feel like I got ripped off if I buy something. Then I find out like not too long after that, if I would have just waited a week or so, I could have got like 30% off.
I was afraid of that because I already had a couple of pickups for the packages for Black Friday that I put. And I was just waiting for them to be like, hey, I would like because my thing is like if you cancel like what is it like a month in advance, you get your full refund because that's my thing. If you cancel 30 days in advance, I'll give you a refund, no worries. And some people were booked like January, February, March. So I was like, these people are gonna freaking call me and be like, I like to cancel and then rebook, but that didn't happen. So
And there's
I was
always
happy with that.
there's always this too though. Like there could have been people that just didn't have it in them to maybe bring it up, to where it's like,
Mhm.
I don't want to say anything or, so like to me, like even for Photo Booth 101, man, I know I could have made a lot more money this Black Friday, like by offering sales, but like I'm just looking out for the people that just aren't waiting for a sale. And it's always those customers too that want that sale or wait for the sale that are always the fucking hardest to deal with, man.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. You know what? I've noticed that when I do sales, I do have to deal with those knuckleheads. Like I said, sometimes you just do it because maybe you're just trying to fill in some dates. And again, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say, oh yeah, that's not the reason why. Yeah, there is times where like, okay, October, thank God, was a blessing, but like, November was a little slower. So I'm like, you know what? The Black Friday sale will work. I offered like a fall discount too. So as I was transitioning from the fall discount to Black Friday, I already had a discount from fall going into Black Friday. And that's what I offered the lady the first time. She's like, yeah, but I see your Black Friday sale. I'm like, okay, fine, just take it. So I was trying to fill up November a little bit, but then I'm like, you know what? For December, I think I'm going to take it back and not do any too much sales. Like I haven't done like a Christmas sale or anything like that yet because I'm like, you know what? Like I think I'm gonna like take it a little more easier than I did the last few months. And that's where it's bringing me to my next topic. Do you guys have any like blackout dates, like where you're like okay, like I made enough money this year where it's like my photo booth did good, and you're like like for example, it doesn't need to be like a whole week. It could be like like Christmas Day, like something like that.
No, you want to know why?
I think I
Because
know.
pickups,
Because what?
Yeah, that's
pickups.
yeah, the pickups. That's true. That's true.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
buddy. They
Yeah.
go if anyone and the people that I've had booked for Christmas, because I have it booked for Christmas, and then I'm talking to somebody right now that wants to book it for New Year's Eve. I'll be like, hey man, I'm not gonna be available on the 24th and the 25th, and on 31st and the first for those people. So I tell them pick it up 2 days in advance. Don't
Love
worry.
it.
And they're like, is it more?
okay. So
Like,
that's
no.
smart. So, but you're still blacking out you're still blacking out your option to do the drop
For
off.
for drop offs.
Yeah. So that means basically you're still considerably blacking out, but the only other option that you would give to kind of somewhat still make some money, even though it's not what you would make with a drop off or being an attendant at the event, is the pickup, which is obviously a lot less. But I get what you're saying. So you're like partially like I'm working, but I'm not working. Like you got to come if you want it, you got to come get it from me.
Yeah, but it's
I
on
know,
a
so, I
non-holiday
didn't think
day.
I didn't think about it like that. Like I said,
They can
I haven't really pushed the pickup as much as I should have. I did in the summer a lot,
do it.
but
Do it.
that's good for holidays though. I like that. That's good for holidays.
Do
Yeah,
you
because
charge
people.
premium for holidays?
What, like higher prices? Yeah, absolutely. When I did the New Year's event at whatever SGA America, whatever, when I
Mhm.
did the New Year's event, that was easily $3,000, bro. We did the balloons and everything, and then with the backdrop, the
If
numbers
they
and stuff.
wanted it again, would you charge more this year?
Oh, absolutely, bro. I
Yeah,
don't. I
exactly.
honestly, I'd probably just because of the hassle it took. To
Yeah.
me, the $3,000 wasn't even enough. To be honest, like I know that might
Exactly.
sound greedy to say. I know. It might
Flip
sound
it.
greedy.
No,
Flip.
it doesn't. It doesn't sound greedy. If
No,
they're
it
gonna
doesn't.
No,
take you away from
listen.
family, it's
The,
gonna cost them.
the
Yeah.
hassle I had to go through to get my photo booth to Times Square up to 80. It was like 83rd floor. I had to get it on an elevator. Luckily, it was just a photo booth. I'm glad they didn't want a freaking prop table. They had all that stuff. I just had
They're
to
gonna
bring.
hit you up this year for a DJ. Watch.
No, I wouldn't do it. I would have to charge them like fucking $6,000 to do it, bro. The
That's
hassle,
it.
bro. They fenced out the whole entire Times Square. So in order for me to get it, I had to literally beg. Me and Kristen had to beg the police for us to get it. Luckily, there was some employees who actually worked in that building who had their IDs, and we're like, "That's the building we need to go into." The ones with them, we were showing them the same like pass that the building gave us, like because I had went a few days before New Year's to drop off the photo booth, so I already spent money bringing the photo booth to Manhattan beforehand. And then the day of the event, I had to pay again to get to Manhattan because I didn't stay there, obviously. And then, I was showing the police the ID, like, hey, this is the ID I need to get into that building. So I'm like, it's right there. They were like, no, unfortunately, like, this is blocked off, obviously, because they think that I'm going to go to sit there to watch the ball drop. I'm like, no, I'm here for work. I need to go there. So luckily, some employees came in and they're like, no, that's the pass. We're going in there too. So they were nice enough. One of the cops were like, listen, just let them in. But the hassle it took me over an hour just to get across the street to the next building over. I was like, you know what? Next year, if I were to do this again, I would have no. It might sound crazy, but even if it was just for photo booth, I would have to charge like $5,000, bro. It might sound like an insane number, but just the hassle it took me, and then to get home was even worse, bro. Imagine you guys see it on TV in Times Square. I know you guys probably watched the ball drop thing in Times Square, but the hassle, all those people. There's like thousands of people there just to get back to the train station. Yeah, that might sound crazy, but yeah, that would be somewhat of my price, bro. I cannot something like New Year's Eve in Times Square. Now, if you're talking like a regular party, like down the street from my house or at like a venue or something like that, yeah, okay, maybe like $800 or $900, because again, it's still a holiday. You know what I mean? That if you want me to go there and do the job on a holiday, but that's why I'm like, you know what? I like that idea that you did with the whole. Okay, well, if you wanted that bad, you come to me and I'll charge you my pickup price. I didn't think about that.
The beautiful thing about it is they can come during the week, so it doesn't even need to be the day of Christmas or New Year's. But let's wrap this one up here, guys. And I just want to ask one more question. Now, knowing you guys would charge more for, let's just say Christmas is coming up. I want to rent a photo booth from each of you, and I want you to be there for 2 hours. What is the price to get either Hans or Tyler to come to my house on Christmas Day? And I'll be honest with you, there's nothing wrong with saying whatever price. I'm just curious to know what it will cost.
Christmas Day,
or is it even possible?
I come from a Hispanic family, so we celebrate on Christmas Eve. So I'm gonna say if you wanted me Christmas Eve from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. to take me away from my kids, which is not gonna happen, but if you're gonna take me, I would feel comfortable at like maybe like $6,000.
Love it. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, no, same thing. We celebrate on Christmas Eve because the whole thing, like Hans said. Yeah, no, bro, it would have to be like realistically like $3,500 to $4,000. I'm not leaving my house on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day at that, because we still that you just people got to understand, like, that day you're gonna pay the top price. And same thing with New Year's Eve. You want someone to come out on New Year's Eve when you know that person has a family that they to go do a job for your party, and you want me there, like you need it. It's like they're like making an attendant mandatory. Like, oh, we need an attendant there. Okay. And I can't find someone. Obviously, it's going to be hard to hire somebody to go out and do it for you because everyone else is celebrating it as well. You got to pay top. You got to have to pay top. It might sound crazy, but I don't know how much.
No, it's not. I just wanted to ask. I know we got to get going here, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the podcast. Tyler's info, follow him on social media, and Hans below. Thank you, guys. And next week we will have a special guest on the podcast. So thank you guys for tuning in. Take care.